How's it going, everybody? Um, I just want to share an experience that I had, and it's to deal with astral projection and seeing through closed eyelids, and it's kind of like you're able to you see a lot of people able to have astral projection. So my own experience that I had was that I guess I lay down and I lay down normally and fall asleep. Normally, like everybody would fall asleep, right? And there's a lot of people out there that can leave their body. Well, it's like their astral body or their spirit or something like that. And you can astral project, and you can leave your body, and you can walk around, fly around, and see everything in real time while you're astral projecting. You can even go into like other dimensions other than this physical plane that we live in, because my own experience on that is like you get these vibrations. But at first you have to like get to the vibrational stage of REM sleep, which is called rapid eye movement, and this rapid eye movement is like when you're very very deep in sleep, and that's when you get all these when you get all these dreams. And then there's a point where you can have like even nightmares and stuff like that when you get into rapid eye movement, because some of them will be like lucid. Somewhere you'll be able to like control your own dreams, start manifesting them in your dreams, and it's the best way I can explain it. And the reason why I bring that up, because it's kind of like a dream, but it's like not a dream at the same time. You can control it. And there's a difference between a dream and an astral projection, because it's real. It's like when you're sleeping and your body leaves your conscious leaves the body. It can travel outside of this place while you're sleeping, and it only happens when you sleep. And you can also see things in real time and whatnot. And the thing that I experienced, the reason why I kind of explain it in my own view, the way I experience like the vibrations, you get these electrical currents running through your whole damn body, because we're all energy. Everything in life is energy, even matter and the atoms in the universe. Scientifically, that everything is a vibration, and everything is like sound, right? So it's like through sound frequency that you're able to do this. And so what happened was after I started encountering the astral plane, what they call it, an astral world, and we can all do it. Everybody can do this. You know, it's a psychic ability. In the it's not. It is the mind, right? But your mind can like travel other places, and you can even go to like other places in Egypt. You can go to America. You can go to the beach. You can go outside this universe. You can go visit Saturn. You can visit the moon. You can visit all these places in space, right? And all that stuff. Well, still being on Earth, and you can see it in real time, right? So I don't know why nobody, when you're astral projecting, nobody goes to Antarctica, right? Like the Antarctica and stuff like that, because they have it all blocked up and stuff like that, you know. And the things that you can find out information by traveling in the astral plane. You can also do like stuff like remote viewing as well. You can remote view, and that's another psychic ability that we all have as human beings. And it's like a spiritual thing, right? So, and you can use our power as well to affect physical reality too. Something called telepathic abilities, or telepathy they call it, like more of a different type of communication, like a spiritual communication. You can communicate with other people on the earth itself, because like I'm not the only person that can experience this. Whole cross of people that can experience these kind of things, right? So there's the positive part of it that I'm talking about, right? And I know that there's positive things and then there's negative things. But right now I'm focusing on the good things right now that I experienced, that I learned from this. And astral projection and seeing through your closed eyelids, right? And eventually you wouldn't even have to sleep anymore and try to meditate and do all that stuff. And when you're seeing through your closed eyelids, you can astral project consciously at will. You can control it. You can control it at your own will, right? Because then you don't have anybody else like altering your mind, basically. Because the reason why I think that we don't have it, that some don't have it and some do, is because we alter our mind with substances, alcohol, foods that we eat, and like unhealthy stuff like that. I was doing that. That's why my mind closed down, but I reopened it by fasting, fasting from food, cigarettes, and all like my vices, all my negative things that influence the mind. And when I mean by influence, those are called like altars, images, because altars distracts our mind. Altars are distractions in this physical world, because you have to step outside of this physical place that we're in, right? Because you got to remember that this isn't the only reality that exists. And when you're like meditating and stuff, and you're seeing through your closed eyes, right? Like show you, so like when I'm closing my eyes, but it's like they're open like this, right? And I can see, but my eyes are closed at the same time. But everything is all different. Like it's like you're wearing sunglasses and stuff like that. I watched this video on YouTube. I'll forward a link of what I'm talking about, because I know I'm not the only one that experienced this. So I'm just making a video referencing my own experiences from the video that I'll link on the top, because I have my own experiences and I thought I'd make a video about it, right? And basically what I saw, it was like I was able to walk around while being here, while being conscious, like how I'm conscious right now. So like what I mean is that conscious is basically me walking around. This is conscious, right? And like I'm aware of my feeling, I'm aware of my surroundings, I'm aware of this rock right here, right? That's being conscious, because I'm conscious with everything I do. Even this lighter right here is red, right? So whatever we see in reality, these headphones that I use, this phone that we use, we can describe things just like how we can describe our dreams. when we have those lucid dreams, we can describe things in that dream that's happening because we're aware of it happening in our own conscious spirit in ourself, right? So when I was like seeing through my closed eyelids, I was holding up my hand like this, and then animals started coming out of my hands. I don't know if anybody experienced like seeing through closed eyelids, but that's what I saw. I was able to have little animals come out of my hands, like both of them, right? So it was like I was using my hands, and I was able to like see through my closed eyelids and see my hands in front of me while I had my eyes closed, and I was able to do all these things with my hands. Because our energy comes from our hands, it comes from our spirit, it comes from our body, it comes from our heart, it comes from our mind, right? So I hear what they call spirits. People will call it voices, people will call it auditory hallucinations, but it does have an auditory effect on the mind, because it's a gift that humans all have. We have this psyche of our mind. That's why you call it a psyche. The word psyche comes from the Greek language, which means consciousness, soul, and mind, which is our psychology. We all have our own type of psychology. So with that being said, those voices that earlier on some posts I was talking about voices and stuff like that. The reason why I think that they hear their families and their friends talking to them is because there's something negative going on in their mind. The negative stuff that's going on in their head, right? They can't handle it, right? So it drives them crazy because their families here on the earth, but they're hearing something else that's them. But we never know. How do we not know that those voices are coming from different physical dimensions or realities like this one we're living in here? Because there's scientists out there that there's scientists out there that tell us that there's only one reality, one death, and that's it. There's nothing else. If that was the point, if that was the whole truth, then what's the point of us living life in this whole physical existence? What's the point of living this life if we don't die and move on somewhere else? Because I believe that there's something that happens after we die. Our spirit moves on to another dimension. And I'm not talking about religious and a religion or religious ideology, right? Because my belief is that the reason why that there's so many different nations on the planet is because they have their own different types of deities. You can see that there's 1,000 gods of different each cultural or religions out there, because a culture is like a religion at the same time. It's just a different way of saying it. You know what I mean? A cultural way of aspects and stuff like that. Like the Egyptians, they believe that there were so many different gods out there, right? And then it's the same thing as me telling you that I'm God, that you gotta pray to me, or you burn and vanish and perish in hell or whatever down underneath the ground, right? The Egyptian belief is that there's an underworld, like an underworld down there, and the underworld is like the lower plane of existence, and then you have like the heavens, right? And then you have the physical plane, which we're in right now. So my theory is that there's more realms that we don't see. It's not even a theory, it's real though, but there's 4 of them, right? Because there's the lower plane underneath the ground, which is either positive or negative down there. And then there's this middle plane that we're in right now, because we're in the middle. And then there's the heavens, which is like the universe. The universe is heaven. And the stars and all that stuff and beyond, right? So maybe to a scientific view, that the heavens are a universe, or the spiritual world is the universe, and we are part of that spirit world. this spiritual world is like the whole universe. We're in a universe of plane of existence, right? Now, when I say planes and reality, dimensions, these bubbles, like circle bubbles, like when I see this reality is a bubble, it's a circle. It's not flat. To our point of view, in our own eyes, it may be flat, right? It may be flat to our point of eyes, but everything is in a circle because it has to be a circle. It's a circle, and so there's four realms in total. There's only 4. And then there's more than that outside of that. So there's 4 in total though. There's not 3. There's no 3 because they got the mathematics wrong. In like the mathematics, because even these spiritual worlds are in mathematical view. Right? So you have this physical plane, which we're in right now. Then you have the spiritual plane, which is right here, but right here the spirits can wander and everything and see everything in green and everything and stuff like that. They can see that. That's the spiritual world as well, like the good life, right? And then you have the darkness, which is another different plane of realm, which is like all the negative stuff where we get all those negative energies from. Why our body is getting all these thoughts are coming from is these negative places of darkness, right? And there's a shadow. And it depends how you want to see that shadow. Everything else is shadow, right? Underneath the ground, underneath this whole earth, it's a circle, right? You got to remember. So beyond that circle, there's a whole nother universe down in a circle, right? Inside of that circle, and it goes beyond, outside of this whole dimension, right? So, with that being said, there's a portal that goes down to other earths, like this one that we're in right now. My theory is that the earth is like a gateway, but it's like a darkness kind of thing, right? And then there's the sun, and the sun is a portal. The sun is a portal and a gateway as well, and that's why I think that these aliens or these outer space beings, they use the sun as a way of like the electrical charging their ship and stuff like that and whatnot. And then there's other earths and stuff like that. And this is what I learned from my own experience. My own experiences from learning about astral projection and going outside of myself and seeing the unknown things that I didn't know about. All the experiences I had is coming from all my mind. You know, you can't make this shit up. You can't. Because, like, if it didn't exist, then why would it exist in my mind? It shouldn't have all these things I'm talking about shouldn't even be existing in my own mind. You know? These things shouldn't be existing if I'm not talking, like, then how is it not real if it's existing in here, in your mind too, in other people's minds? It's like we're having some kind of recollective thoughts, or like a collection of thoughts that everybody has the same thing, because you can see the experiences in other people. They have the same beliefs, and it doesn't change of what they see, and it's deadly, right? Because I think these experiences are coming from spiritual stuff. You gotta remember, there's infinite. If the universe goes on for infinity and beyond, if the universe is endless, then that must mean that this reality that we're in right now, this dimension, this plane, this bubble, there has to be other bubbles and other planes and dimensions out there in the universe. There has to be thousands, there has to be billions, there has to be other physical dimensions besides this one reality that we live in. Like, say, for example, I'll use rocks for instance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you see these rocks right here, my explanation. These rocks that I'm holding in my hand, they're all realities. We're only in this reality right here, right? We're only in this reality. And that's what they want us to believe, right? So because I put my energy and my thought on this rock, it becomes energy because I put energy on this rock. But look what I did to this rock here, look. Somehow like okay, so there's one rock, right? Whoa, there's one rock that went into the water right there. Okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but best explanation. Okay, so that's one rock, 2 rocks, 3 rocks, 4 rocks, 5 rocks. Right? There's 3 rocks, but 2 of them fell. 6, 7, 8, well 10 because there's nothing in there now. Where did all the rocks go? You didn't know that those rocks fell out of my hand because we didn't know that they fell on the rocks. We don't know where they're going. So what I'm saying is, we know that the rocks went into the river, right? And each of those rocks are like different universes and dimensions and all that shit. Basically, you can say those are particles or atoms and stuff like that. And compared to an atom, and compared to the particles in the universe, this one little small atom compared to the whole universe, we're small. We're not big. We're not like huge in this reality, in this whole thing, you know. And you gotta look at it that way, because we don't know anything beyond what science, like, you know, science can't prove everything. Science can't really prove nothing. Everything can't be proven by data. You know what I mean? Because data is always the same thing as words and information. That's what data is. Everything is like everything is data, right? Everything is information and knowledge. But yeah, man, I thought I make this video of this out of this world shit, you know. But peace out, have a good day, yo. Believe it or not, but I think I'm crazy. I think I'm going crazy anyways because of what I said, but it's the best way I can explain this whole shit that people don't understand. But yeah, man, peace out. It's a 23-minute video, and yeah, man, peace.